Hello, Sharif here. And today I want to just do a freestanding video. I started to write this down and I realized it's going to take me longer to write it and then take you longer to read it than if I just did a short video on this. And my topic is the joy of being in a colony. First of all, as I've been talking about my new book, Birthing the Nation of Gaia, and especially the third part of the book where I talk about what would it be like if we human beings start acting like colony beings as opposed to the individuals that we have been taught that we are. What would happen to us if we started acting that way? Um, uh, as I've been talking about it, I've been have there are lots of people who are telling me, "Oh yes, I've had this feeling of being in a colony. I've been had the feeling of being a part of the whole." Sometimes these feelings are spiritual. Um, Sometimes they're cultural. Once in a while, they're political. But we've all had these moments where we feel as though we are part of the whole. And those moments may last a few minutes. Those moments may last, in the case of the Orange Revolution in Kiev many decades ago, 5 weeks in sub freezing weather. Or, you've heard me talk about the meteor in Charlotte, North Carolina, that lasted maybe 10 seconds. And the feeling that it left in us, those of us who were fortunate enough to be on the lawn of the Mint Museum between reels of an old movie and had the witness of seeing this huge meteor streak through the air. And the most important part of that experience was the sound that 3,000 people made spontaneously in complete harmony with each other, going, ooh. That sound that we made, it wasn't something that the movie made, it wasn't something that a band was playing, nobody tuned us up. Um, has been with me and been with many of the people who experienced it for years and years and years and years later. That's the power of holonic consciousness. That's the power of thinking that we're in a an entity together. There's several elements that happens that triggers a true holonic consciousness. First of all, you lose focus on your individualized self. You are not, this isn't a super self experience. That that thing that the Dalai Lama talks about, our preoccupation with ourselves, goes down. Um, Secondly, we become aware that we're part of this larger community or this larger colony. And when I say colony, what I mean is it's not just that people have come together in community. It's that you can feel that that coming together has a consciousness that's larger than your consciousness, than your individualized consciousness. Another aspect of the holonic consciousness or the holonic colony is that if you are working, you realize that you are working for the whole. You're not working for the individual parts. You're also recognizing that you are benefiting from the whole. In some way, you may actually be benefiting from doing the work, which If you've been in a holonic state, if you've been in the colony state, you know what that feels like. And so all that's true. We have had these experiences. I invite you to think back on when you have had um, similar kinds of experiences. Um, what just came to my mind, I remember being in a basketball game, and it may have been college ball, because you don't get this kind of feeling generally when you're watching a bunch of millionaires running around on a basketball court. But when it's just that you're in this for the game, and the game was very close, and I remember thinking, and someone was saying out loud, I don't want this to end. I don't want anybody to win. I want this feeling of all of us doing something together to continue. So that's my question. Can we consciously, through this process of saying we're going to create a nation together, we're going to create a consciousness together, can we sustain it? Can we sustain it past all the people who don't want this sustained? There's an awful lot of people who will think this is a really, really bad idea. They will believe that they themselves as individuals will lose when all of us are operating from a holonic consciousness. They won't, but they feel that way until they experience it, and then it's like, oh, what was I worrying about? So our challenge is, can we sustain it? I believe the answer is yes. And we're going to be exploring that answer over the next several days, weeks, and months. Not too much longer than months. This is going to be happening relatively quickly. So I want us all to be prepared. I want us to work on how we get prepared. What is it that needs to happen in our world to get ourselves prepared for a whole new way of thinking? May all beings be well. May all beings be secure. May all beings be happy. Thanks a lot.